गुड मॉर्निंग गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू अनदर व्लॉग। हाँ, मैं जिम से स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ आज व्लॉग। सुबह सुबह जिम पहुँच गया हूँ मैं। रेड बुल हाथ में, मस्त मज़े कर रहे हैं। खाली जिम है पर तब भी दिखाऊंगा नहीं आपको जिम। तो बाढ़ में जाओ, भी मेरे को करने दो जिम। मिलता है बाद में। तो गाइस मस्त हमारा जिम हो चुका है अभी। अब हम जा रहे हैं वापस। बाइसेप वर्कआउट मारा हमने बढ़िया सा, तगड़ा बाइसेप वर्कआउट लग गया। तो अब हम जाएंगे घर, मस्त रेडी होएंगे, फिर हम निकलेंगे मस्त एक जगह पे। उधर जाके आपको बताएंगे। वैसे तो निकलते हुए बताऊंगा अभी तो रेडी होके मिलते हैं गाइस। बाय। तो गाइस अभी हम आए थे सर्वोदय एन्क्लेव, जरा कारपेट्स उठाने थे थोड़े से, तो बस वही कर रहे थे हम। फिर अभी हम जा रहे हैं वापस। थोड़ा सा इधर उधर की व्लॉगिंग हो रही है, तो आप देख लो। ये हो रहा टुंडी चौहान्स गैलरी, तो उधर है टुंटी। तो अभी हम निकलते हैं गाइस, ठीक है, चलो बाय। तो गाइस अभी हम आ गए हैं आर्ट गैलरी। एक और कारपेट आ गया है, मैं लेकर जा रहा हूँ अभी। काफ़ी काम है आज, अभी दिखाता हूँ मैं फिर आप लोगों को बाद में, ठीक है। देखते रहिए, बाय।
Very dynamic color. Uh, so those are the things that the collectors enjoy. We also enjoy things like that, which is clearly has seen better days, but what's left is so beautiful. So I think David has. I don't know if David has fragments of tribal pieces woven by tribal nomadic women. So all those things are things that make this a very fascinating. I think David's been collecting for more than 50 years. I've been collecting for 40 years. And David, there were different reasons every collector will have for becoming a collector. It's a disease. Once you get it, it never leaves you. In my case, what happened was my wife and I both grew up in Meerut, and I was doing my chartered accountancy in Delhi. And my wife was actually born in the US, so she went to the US a little before me. So my mother-in-law and I went to the US together. That's the first time I flew in my life, 1983. And when we got there, I had to get married in 90 days. And that was such a big thing. So basically, it's called the. Do you guys study economics also as part of your curriculum? So in economics, there's a principle called the greater fool theory. The greater fool means when you pay X for a piece of art, you are a fool to be paying what you're paying. But you expect that you'll find a greater fool who will pay more plus one. Yeah. Doing the same thing we do, So this tradition is completely dead now. Nobody's leaving. This is gorgeous also, very simple process. What I love is the patternation. Over the years, what happens is this dye, the brownish color was made by dyeing wool with iron filings. So after 70, 80 years, it starts to oxidize and eat away the wool. So you see the corrosive part is starting to go away, but the other colors are not. So it looks like almost like embossed, like a three-dimensional relief kind of a thing. But again, a very simple flower, repeating. Every flower is different, and a very narrow single border. It's a scrolling vine. It's framing the field of flowers. Caravan. Yeah. And this is so. This is the only example in knotted pile of this composition is very rare. They normally make it in flat weaves. Very. It's called a vernet. Sometimes used as a curtain, sometimes on horseback. And so I had seen some examples of vernets in flat weaves, and I came across this example in knotted pile. It's knotted pile. The knots are those ischial. It's knotted pile and it has damage, so the damage doesn't bother me. So I just removed all the bad repairs and saved what we could of the original. And then to give it structural strength, I use different things like this is linen. I use linen, jute, cotton, wool, canvas, many different things. But so here's a design where she's weaving. She wants the rug to look like a horizontal landscape style display. But it's woven from this is the bottom, that is the top. So she's weaving the design sideways. So imagining what this would look like. She's counting knots going this way, but the design is going to be that way here. Very different. So camels and people, their luggage.
He lost his voice, and Master got up in the morning and he lived. And he lived and he never barked. And, you know, well, if you're a dog lover, you'll understand that.
I'm sensing your pain. I'm a huge dog lover.
Okay. So there's always been 3 to 5, and they all just sort of produce, and then they get given away, and then all that nonsense. And then now there are only 4 street dogs. Okay.
You live in Delhi?
I live in Delhi and Kasauli.
Kasauli, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And anyway, so when I was sitting and cutting this, because Halla couldn't walk, right? And I came down to Delhi because Kasauli didn't have it, and my husband was in Kasauli, and that was his ancestral home. So I used to sit and I was cutting this handmade paper because this man had come to me somewhere in the 90s when I ran my design studio from the 90s to 2015, and with a briefcase up in the studio on the 2nd floor, and he said, "ये मैं आपकी dampness ठीक कर दूँगा." घर की ना उधर से पानी गिर रहा था. So I said, "ठीक है." So he looked around and all, and then after a little while he sat at my table and he opened up his briefcase, right? And he took out these sheets of architectural drawings, right? Which were cut at British times, his father's thing, whole family of Mathura, right? And he said, "मैं ये भी काम करता हूँ."
Sketch बनाता हूँ, design बनाता हूँ.
See, Sanji workers, right? So that's another story. We'll get together and we'll chat. And then, so I was at that point doing up a Swedish paperless office, right? And it was all very clean and very one of those Manesar stories, right? So I made 10 of these tables, and which was this, and I wasn't going to put cubicles and things which offices do. And so my mind started working, and I said, if I have to divide it, or if I have to do something, why am I not using paper? So we sat down together and we started working it out. So I said, "तुम क्या क्या करते हो?" So with him, he said, "मैं ये 7 किस्म के पेड़ बना सकता हूँ, और मैं ये इस किस्म का मोर, इस किस्म का ये, इस किस्म का ये." So with me, I first said, "चलो हम बनाते हैं." So we kept making. We kept making. And he said, "मेरे इतने पैसे लग रहे हैं, इतने पैसे." I said, "ठीक है." अब I said, then I started reading and trying to find out more. And then it was done with gold leaf, then there was the Chinese culture, then there was the Japanese culture, then I went into the whole story. Then I said, okay, इसके अंदर gold leaf लगाएं तो कैसे होगा? So we went to the Riba and we bought this thing. Then we bought silver, the barak, and then we bought the silver. Now I was redoing a place of from Hyderabad to here, where they had their old bidri, right? So now we didn't know where to keep all those pieces in a Unitech flat of 3,000 feet, right? So we were trying to work out things. So I did a 4x4 table, and in the glass we cut these very simple. Because I think the more you go on, the simpler you get.
Yes.
You know, and that is the hardest thing.
Yes.
No more clutter.
Yes.
No more clutter.
Right.
And so I put it with silver. Okay, we said let's cut in silver. Do you know over time, Danny? You said okay. It all turned black. It oxidized.
Yes.
Now those people said, आपने हमसे क्या करा है? ये तो काला है. ये अब क्या करेंगे?
काले में खूबसूरती है ना?
नहीं मगर उनको तो नहीं दिख रही थी ना. अब उनको समझाओ. उनके दादा परदादा ने तो चांदी और सोना से डील करा ना. अब ये लोगों ने तो नहीं करा था. Right? You wanted a swanky flat, right? And yet you wanted all that stuff. Anyway, so one learned as one went along, right? So when I was just sitting, and Allah used to sit with me in my room, and I was cutting, and I collected all the photographs from babyhood, whatever I could find. No of the dogs in my life. So I went to my parents took out something, then Sunil and I together, little black and whites, and whatever we could find, we went through albums, till we came to Halla, right? And
Halla was the chocolate lab, right?
No, Halla was the golden one, whose mother Khushi was with me, then Jadu, and then uske pehle
Beautiful name.
all of them, and of course they go back, huh?
Right.
And or this one's friend, that one's friend. Oh gosh, we got 8 puppies. What do we do? You know, that kind of thing. Right now we've got Shams because another friend had 8 puppies, so we've got Shams now again, and he's become Banusha. Anyway, so Halla used to sit. इधर इतनी बड़ी वो 6 फुट की. वो बनती गई, हाँ, and वो कहानी. And in my mind, in my head, I said, I cannot finish it because the day I finish it, Allah will be this last. So I refused to finish it, you know, and
you probably heard these stories. Like in California, there's this Hearst castle. Hearst was a billionaire. And after he passed away, his wife kept adding rooms and staircases that don't go anywhere, because she thought if she stopped adding to it every day, she would die. I think that's a story. I don't know if Akshardham has a similar thing, but they add a brick every day.
Every day. They do some masons work there.
Huh?
Every day they do some little masons work
building,
there.
You're a beautiful dastan boy, I'm going to say.
no, you know, but I have to tell you.
So Saffron's been bombing. Bundles has done better. Lately,
But Pandol doesn't do the Friday thing, na? So Pandol does just the one-off auctions.
Story, I think there's a class difference between Story and Saffron.
I think the problem with Story is that everybody's looking for a bargain.
Right.
Which is the wrong way to approach it for you.
Right. No, I got a chance to meet 4 or 5 Saffron people. They came here.
Right.
So we were talking about, but they were in awe when they saw this stuff here.
Yeah.
David's daughter-in-law Abba also came.
Of course.
It's all part of her team.
Yeah.
I think what they're doing with art is sort of happening very easily now. You know, so they mastered that.
But money is also bigger.
Yeah,
They're
much
more
bigger.
focused on that.
Much bigger.
But he can interest Abha into taking care of our friend.
But you know, the extraordinary thing about Abba is that she comes in, she's married into a carpet family. I mean,
Oh, is she?
Well, I mean, both Jenny and I.
Oh, right,
say
that way,
it's
that way,
such
yeah.
but she has no interest in it at all. I mean,
Personal thing.
yeah.
Listen, David, my brother and I would drag to every museum all over.
My father built New Delhi with Lutyens. So we have a lot of the old pictures.
Fascinating. Yeah, because that's we're staying kind of in that area. So
Where
just
are you
to see
staying? Oh, then that's you're bang in the heart
That's
of
why we want
exactly.
to
So
stay
we've,
there.
we've seen it coming in and out. So I've been, but it's
Yeah.
I've been
Have you
really
walked in
interested.
Lodi Garden?
Not yet.
No, but we have that
road around
today now. We have
but
to
we
do
want
Because
that.
it's
Yeah.
a nice day today to do
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Okay, well that is wonderful. I didn't know. I would be very interested in seeing the Lutyens piece because
You should go.
obviously so
You
many
should
of
go
the,
if you can go.
Yeah, the War Graves commissions, of course. You know,
Yes.
like he was involved in so many of those, and my father would have a great interest in that. So he's visited quite a few of them.
Okay.
So I would have seen kind of heard.
So you're an old
so
India hand, or is this your
no,
first trip?
far from it. Very much the first trip.
Oh.
From very much the first trip. But my grandfather was here during the war, and my father had a lot of interest in them, so he came back. But yeah, it would be very interesting to see the Lutyens in a more building complex rather than the memorial.
So the building complex of Rashtrapati Bhavan, he has used architectural things like we have what we call a chhaja. How would you say chhaja in English?
Umbrella?
No, it's like a
Awning,
lintel stick
awning. Awning, yeah.
but a stone awning, so that when it rains, it doesn't come through the window.
Yeah.
It hits the lintel or whatever, and then goes down like that.
Yeah.
So he's used that, and he's inlaid it inside with moon and the sun and stuff like that. So it's really very nicely
And
done.
as you say, interpreted into
And he's used the jali, the lattice work
yes
of Mughal India
Okay.
all over Rashtrapati Bhavan.
Okay, well that's okay.
And he's done a fountain with a cobra. So the water comes out of the mouth of the cobra and stuff like that. Very interesting.
Yeah.
And used Indian elements. So you know the rangoli that we do, the powder that we put. So what he's done is he's done rangoli in inlay marble in the library of Rashtrapati Bhavan. It's just extraordinary.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh,
You
well, I
really
would
should
definitely
visit
go.
that.
No, I would love
And
to
the
go.
gardens
I
are
would
lovely,
go.
the
I would love
Persian
to.
gardens.
Oh my gosh. Well, that was now.
तो गाइस आज हम काफ़ी बिजी थे। पहले जैसे आपने देखा निफ्ट के बच्चे आए हुए थे तो उनके साथ बिजी थे। काफ़ी बड़ा ग्रुप आया हुआ था निफ्ट का, और कुछ लोगों के साथ जो भी इंटरेक्शंस होती है वो सब का वीडियो लेने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ मैं जितना हो पाए। तो देखते रहिए, कमेंट में बताना आपको कैसा लग रहा। और तो अभी हम वैसे 12th तक है मंडे को, आप आ सकते हो जब तक आपको आना है। और इंस्टा पे भी मैं डालते रहता हूँ पोस्ट, तो देखते रहिए। ठीक है, मिलते हैं बाद में, बाय। तो इस कैनपी वापस लग रहा है, भैया लगा रहा है। अभी ये सारा निकला हुआ था, ये तो लग चुका, बस इतना सा बचा हुआ। अब ये भी लग जाएगा, अब फिर सब सही हो जाएगा। बाहर के पीसेस के लिए सही रहेगा। फिर बढ़िया काम कर रहा भैया। ऊपर से गिर गया तो मर ही जाएगा। कमेंट्स में बताओ इस ऊपर से गिरा तो भैया मरेगा या नहीं मरेगा। तो गाइस हम उधर से निकल गए थे अभी म्यूज़ियम से। अभी हम जा रहे हैं बंगाली मार्केट। तो बंगाली मार्केट पहुंच के फिर हम शॉप में पहुंच के दिखाते हैं आपको। अगर उधर भीड़ नहीं है बात तो दिखाता हूँ मैं आपको क्या है। ठीक है, चलो बाय। गाइस हम आए हैं बंगाली स्वीट हाउस भीमसेन। 1937 से है ये, 1937। तो गाइस अभी हम आ गए थे बंगाली मार्केट। बंगाली मार्केट में हमने स्वीट्स खाई है। उधर पीछे भी पान वान खा रहे हैं मामा और आरव लोग, सब लोग। तो अभी बस हम जा रहे हैं, अभी उधर कुछ ले रहे हैं सब लोग उधर से। तो बस थोड़ी देर में निकलेंगे अभी हम। फिर हम आपको मिलते हैं आज घर में सीधा जाके, या कहीं रुकेगी तो नहीं, हम वैसे घर में मिलते हैं हम सीधा जाके। तो बाय गाइस। तो गाइस अभी हम आ गए थे मस्त घर वापस। तो अभी देखते क्या होता है सीन, पता नहीं क्या सीन होगा वैसे तो मैं दिखाऊंगा अगर आपको कुछ सीन होता है तो, या कुछ प्लान बनता है मेरा और तो देखते रहिए। ठीक है, ये इसको देखिए तब तक। तो गाइस मैं अभी नटीज खा रहा हूँ, मज़ेदार सी होती है नटी थोड़ी। बताना अगर आप लोगों ने खाई है या नहीं। ले लो, खा लो। नटीज खा रहा हूँ, फिर डिनर खाऊंगा, फिर मौज करेंगे, मस्ती करेंगे। बाय। तो भाई मैं व्लॉग एंड करना भूल ही गया था, तो इधर ही एंड करते हैं व्लॉग को। उम्मीद है आप लोग को व्लॉग पसंद आया होगा। पता नहीं मैंने लास्ट क्या रिकॉर्ड किया था, मेरे को भी याद आया। आउटरो तो बनाया नहीं मैंने, तो बस आउटरो ही बना रहा हूँ मैं। तो उम्मीद है आप लोग को व्लॉग पसंद आया होगा। मिलते हैं अगले व्लॉग पे। लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब गाइस, बाय।